The person who just stole your medical records probably has a pension plan, a human resources department, and a performance review scheduled for next Tuesday. We have been conditioned to fear the lone hacker archetype, the anarchic genius in a hoodie operating from a dark basement. But the 2022 leak of over 160,000 internal messages from the Conti ransomware group has shattered that myth, revealing a corporate structure indistinguishable from a mid-sized tech firm, complete with physical offices and an Employee of the Month bonus. By the end of this analysis, you will understand the industrial supply chain that has turned your personal data into a commodity, the specific customer service tactics used to extort millions, and why common security advice often fails against a vertically integrated criminal enterprise. The most critical insight is that modern ransomware is no longer a technical feat, it is a business process. In many cases, the gang that encrypts your files isn't even the group that broke into the network. They are simply a customer of an initial access broker, a wholesaler who sells valid corporate logins on the dark web for as little as £400 to £800. The Conti leaks revealed a hierarchy that mirrors any legitimate corporation. At the top sits a CEO, known as Stern, supported by middle managers who oversee functional departments. There are dedicated coders who never see the victims, and system administrators who maintain the infrastructure, along with a recruitment wing that uses legitimate Russian headhunting sites to hire developers. Many of these employees are told they are joining a legitimate IT startup or an advertising analytics firm. One developer, known as RaaS, was so focused on the technical elegance of his code that he seemingly had no idea his software was being used to paralyse hospitals. This division of labour is tactical. It insulates the talent from the reality of the crime, making the organisation more resilient and harder to dismantle. If the leadership provides the strategy, the affiliates provide the volume. Under the Ransomware-as-a-Service model, independent actors pay a subscription fee or 20 to 30% profit share to use the gang's tools. This is industrialised digital extortion, allowing thousands of low-skilled actors to launch nation-state level attacks. When a victim discovers their files are locked, they are directed to a professional web portal that looks remarkably like a corporate help desk. These sites often feature real-time chat, countdown timers to create urgency, and automated demonstration tools where you can upload 2 files to be decrypted for free to prove the service works. The leaked logs show that these negotiators follow a strict corporate playbook. Groups like Lockbit even categorize their negotiations by a style. An operator known as Christopher is the polished professional, calm, process-driven, and focused on trust-building language to ensure that the transaction goes smoothly. On the other hand of the spectrum is Swan, who uses calculated coercion, leveraging psychological pressure and reputational threats to extract the maximum possible payout. These negotiators aren't guessing, they often begin the conversation by quoting from the victim's own insurance policies or financial statements, which were stolen before the encryption even started. This makes it impossible for a company to claim they cannot afford the demand. The business model has recently shifted towards triple extortion. This is where the gang moves beyond the company and starts targeting the individuals whose data was stolen. In Finland, a psychotherapy clinic was targeted, but when the clinic refused to pay, the hackers emailed 30,000 individual patients, threatening to publish their private session notes unless they paid €200 each. We saw the physical consequences of this model in the June 2024 attack on Synnovis, which provides pathology services for the NHS in London. This isn't just a digital outage, it led to over 11,000 cancelled appointments and a nationwide appeal for O-type blood because hospitals could no longer electronically match blood types. Tragically, an investigation later confirmed the delays by the attack were a contributing factor to at least one patient's death. This highlights the core risk for the average viewer. Your identity is not just a private matter to these gangs, it is inventory. To a ransomware affiliate, your medical history or your home address is simply a pressure point to be applied to a primary target. As we move into 2025, the industry is adopting agentic AI to scale even further. Attackers are now using AI to automate 24/7 negotiations across different time zones and languages, and to conduct lightning-fast data theft that takes as little as 18 minutes from the initial breach. This is why traditional advice like just use a stronger password is insufficient. For initial access industrialisation of ransomware means we're no longer fighting hackers, we are fighting a market. The Synnovis attack alone cost over £32 million to remediate, and the British Library had to drain 40% of its financial reserves, roughly £7 million, to rebuild its systems after refusing to pay. Ultimately, the goal of these gangs is to make the ransom feel like the cheapest available business option. When we move from being low-cost targets to resilient obstacles, we stop being a profitable inventory item in their global supply chain. The machine only stops when the cost of the attack exceeds the potential for profit. If you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate a subscribe and a like. I post 3 times a week, and if you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll enjoy the rest. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.